What's up, guys? It's Joe Cunningham from USA Drains, the leading drainage contractor in Putnam County. And I got a couple questions here from some subscribers that want to know some answers about the sewer and drain cleaning business. So, Dennis George. All I need is a locator, a hydrojet, a drain cleaning machine like a Poco. I've also been doing KIP for a while. Will that work? So what I would say is if you're going into the drain cleaning business, you definitely need a locator. You definitely need a hydrojet. And you definitely need a drain cleaning machine. Would you get a Poco? To be honest with you, I don't really know. I don't own one. I've never used one. I've been watching them online. They do have a lot of positive things about them. They can basically do what a hydrojetter can do. But the thing is I know from a gentleman who owns another company, just like mine, because I'm friends with all the companies in my area. That's number one. If you're going to be in the drain cleaning business, get to know everybody, even your competitors. Don't try to oust them from your network. I mean, they're actually very important. I wouldn't say get a lot of work from my drain cleaning competitors, but they got no problem sending you work. So I would definitely recommend letting them know who you are, what you do, where you come from. And if they're overwhelmed with work, man, they may shoot something your way. So I actually have a couple of friends that own a couple different drain cleaning companies in my area, and we shoot each other work. If I go on vacation, that's a big one. Sometimes they go away for 15 days. I take my wife and kids to Europe, and I'm not going to be around for that time. So I would give work to, some of the other companies. And the same thing goes with them. If they can't get to a job, if they're overwhelmed, they don't want their customers. It's in their benefit to say, yes, I can send somebody to you. Let me call you right back. And then they call me and say, hey, Joe, can you go out? I'm like, yeah, I can go out. And the same thing goes for plumbing companies too. Network as much as you can. Plumbing companies that do drain cleaning, they can't always, get to all the calls. So network. But anyway, long story short, I have a guy, he owns Poco, and he said that the Poco is good when you're doing cure-in-place pipe because you are able to, if you overshoot the chute for the KIP, for the cure-in-place pipelining, that you can actually rip that cure-in-place pipelining apart if you overshoot it by a Poco machine. That's something that a hydrojetter cannot do. So, if you're 10 feet deep under a street and you've overshot it, the Poco comes in handy. How often do you need that? Probably not that much if you're not shooting liner. If you're shooting liner, it's definitely imperative that you get a KIP machine. That you get a Poco machine to do that. Do you need that for drain cleaning? The same guy told me that it's terrible for drain cleaning. He goes, it doesn't, just because they show it goes around the bends nice, for the smaller kitchen sinks and tubs and stuff like that, you're never going to beat a snake. I don't have the machine. I can't vouch for Poco, but I can say that somebody that owns it said that it's not that good for drain cleaning, but it is good for its other usages. He writes that he's also been doing KIP. Will that work? KIP is cure-in-place pipe, basically shooting reliners. Dude, if you have the market and the budget to buy the KIP equipment, the relining equipment, I wouldn't hesitate to buy it, but only if you have the market to shoot the reliners. That stuff's expensive. At the minimum, but the cheapest company, it's $35,000-$40,000 for the equipment. You can get into the higher end stuff and spend $60,000-$70,000 for that equipment. If you don't got the market for it, I wouldn't spend your money on it. What I do is, if I need a cure-in-place pipe shoot, what I do is I hire my friend, a guy that I do work with, and he shoots the reliners for me, and I upmarket by the per foot. He'll charge me $95 per foot. I'll charge the customer $150 per foot, and I'll still make money on it, and I don't even gotta go there. They cut me a check, I cut him a check, done. I make money. Next, Freddie Zuniga. What kind of license do you need? That depends on your jurisdiction. I'm in New York. You need no license to unclog drains. You might need a business license. If you open up your company, you got to register it with your city and your county and let them know what you do. But as opposed to actually being a business license, no, you don't need a business license to unclog drains. You need a business license, but you do not need any type of other license to unclog drains. At least where I live. I live in New York. I live in Putnam County, New York, which is about an hour north of New York City. James, do I need a tow jetter or will a 5,000 jetter do? 100%. I don't know where you live, but if you're going to get a jetter, get a good jetter. Don't spend $5,000 on a jetter. That's not going to do you much because the customers that are going to be calling you are going to be like malls and, industrial jobs and even just main sewer line jobs and houses. You need a good jetter. Get a good jetter. Spend your money on your jetter. Does it have to be a tow jetter? That depends. Like me, I can't have a tow jetter because I live in a cold climate. So my tow jetter actually it would be better for me if I I don't have a big garage. So um, if you feel like hooking up your tow truck, if you feel like hooking up something to tow every day, get a tow jetter. If you can put it in your truck, I would recommend that. If you had a place to park your truck in the warmth for the winter, yeah, definitely put it in your truck. It's just so much easier. I've been in business for 9 years now, and my jetter is in my truck, and I've never had a problem. Um, Obviously, you got to antifreeze it in the winter if you're not parking it in a garage. If you have a tow jetter, you can park it in a smaller garage. If you have a lower, I have a high truck. I have like one of the, I have one of the 1500 Dodges ProMasters. So I have a high truck, so I can't park mine in the garage. But if you're in a situation in a cold climate and you want to keep your jetter in a warm environment, I guess you could say tow it. But at the same time, hooking up to tow something all the time is just a pain in the butt. And I would recommend just putting it in your truck. Brute sells a great jetter. Um, I think it's Northwest Jetters. They sell a great Brute system. That's what I have in my truck. I've had it for years. It works great. It's fine. Um, Stay Buff says, what did you average your first year? That's like a really good question. What did I average my first year in business? My first year in business, I went out of business. So, that's because I didn't know how to run a company or how to get work or anything like that. But my first real year in business was last year. Not last year. My first real year in business, I guess, when I started to make actual money, when I started to turn a profit, was probably about 3 or 4 years ago. Because I worked a full-time job. You understand? I was a structural iron worker. And while I was a structural iron worker, I I built my business up, and eventually my business started making more money than my full-time job. So then that's when I left. Um, how much did I make my first year, man? Look, here's the bottom line. The money's in the digging. If you are not digging, if you are not excavating, if you are not breaking the ground, I'm telling you, you are not making money. You may be making money with your drains. You may be unclogging drains for $250 a pop, but you do a septic, man, or you do a sewer line, and you'll make 20 drains in a day. That's where the money is. So like, what did I make? I do great. I do great for myself. I make a great living. I got a wife. She doesn't even work. I got multiple vehicles. I have 5 cars, I think, right now with my dump truck, my service vehicle, my personal car, my wife's car, my play car. I have a trailer that's enclosed. I have a trailer that's not enclosed. I have a $60,000 excavator I bought brand new. It's beautiful. It's like you do good, man. When you start making money, you're gonna do just fine. Don't worry about it. You'll be all right. Spencer, do you need a plumbing license to excavate? Well, it really depends on your jurisdiction. Honestly, you really don't need a plumber's license to excavate because you're just excavating. So I don't have a plumber's license, but in Westchester County, New York, in order to replace a sewer line, you need a plumber's license. So what I do is I have a network of plumbers that I say, look, I'm going to dig the trench, you change the pipe. And they're like, all right, no problem. So they pull the permit, and then I dig the trench. And I charge the customer for the whole job, and then I pay the plumber. So you don't want to go around the bat of splitting that in half. If you're gonna do that work, you have to tell the like, for example, if I did a job in White Plains the other day. Okay, we had to replace 30 feet of a sewer line. Right, and I was like, look, it's gonna be $8,000. I told the customer. Okay, it's 8,000 bucks. We'll come out here, we'll change it, no problem. They're like, you know what, just do the job. So I call my plumber, he gets the permit. Day or two later, whenever he gets around to it, we go back to the house. I dig it. He changes the pipe. He cuts me a bill for $1,200 or $2,000. Bada bing, bada boom. I cut him a check. I get a check from the customer. I made myself 6,000 bucks. So do you need a license to excavate? No, you do not need a license to excavate. There's always a way around those things. But other than that, everything is going great. USA Drains is successful. We're making tons of money. We're doing fantastic. I'm putting an addition on my house right now. And that's just about it. So working for yourself, there's nothing better. Especially right now, we got the coronavirus out. Everybody's out of work. Nobody's making any money. But we're here. We're on clogging drains, and we're doing septics, and we're changing sewer lines, and we're digging up utilities. So that's it. All right, guys. God bless America. God bless the boys in blue, and God bless our soldiers. Thank you very much.